Good morning all, and welcome to Spirit Divine. Today hopefully I will be interviewing the lovely Laura Mcknight, who will be telling us all about her journey with multiple sclerosis and about life as being an MS warrior. Okay, that looks like Laura there. Or is that... I'm going to try and bring Laura on screen, so if people could comment, that would be great, so we can see comments. If not, I'll have to go back out and come back in again. Okay, but I want to get Laura on screen. Okay, so I can talk to her. Okay. Okay, I can only see Claire Sutton at the moment. Where are you, Laura? Morning, Claire. Hope last night went well. Claire was doing a demonstration of mediumship last night to raise funds for hey Dawn, to raise funds for the neonatal department at Southampton Hospital. Morning, Wendy. I'm just waiting for the lovely Laura Mcknight to appear, and then we can... Hello, Lee. Yeah, well done. It's a great cause. Sorry I couldn't help last night, but I needed a rest. Okay. Just waiting for Laura Mcknight to appear. If she can let me know she's here, I will put her on screen. Okay. Let's have another look. Okay, Laura's not here yet. Must admit I was in a bit of a rush this morning. So I haven't had time to make myself another coffee. But anyway, the reason for today is, and Laura was very much a catalyst for today. The other week I was doing a live where I just talk about spiritual stuff and everything like that, about being a medium, about spirit communication, all that kind of thing. And we got talking about trance and trance healing, and Laura asked for some healing. Okay. And about suffering with multiple sclerosis. So I said, why don't we do a Zoom healing for multiple sclerosis sufferers? And anyway, Patrick Monaghan, who's another spiritual healer, he agreed to help me with this. So we've set up a Zoom meeting for tonight. The advert for it and the Zoom details are on the page of Spirit Divine. Okay, and we hope as many people can join us as possible. But I just wanted you all to know that Laura Mcknight was a catalyst for all this. So I said to her, how about doing an interview just to talk about your MS journey and about being a warrior of MS. So I'm just going to see if she's about. Laura, I really need you to appear right now because I'm running out of things to say. Okay. It might be pre-match nerves. Oh, brilliant, Laura. Okay. Right, I'm going to see if I can get you on screen. Okay. Just give me a second, folks. I want to see if I can get Laura on screen. Oh, nothing's happening. Why isn't that coming up? It would happen. Laura, it's not coming up in the options to have you on screen. Okay, I'm going to have another look. It would really be nice to see you. All I've got is as viewers is Carol Seeger and Lucy Pearson. Okay. Wait a minute, here we go. Perhaps if we wait a minute, but you can request to come on screen with me, Laura. Okay, at the moment, for some unknown reason, your name isn't coming up to add you on screen. But you can request, okay, to come on screen. Wait a minute, there's more people coming on. Let's have a look. Your name ain't there, Laura. Thanks, Lucy. Right, that should give... I didn't know that, Lucy, so thank you. Let's see if I can... your name ain't there again. Have you clicked on the green... What's the name? Hi, Sue. Today we're interviewing the lovely Laura Mcknight, who's going to be talking... Brilliant, I'm just waiting for Laura to do that. Yeah, have you requested to join? Okay, rather than messing about. Oh, it might be your device. Okay, I'll ask you questions, and if you would like to type out the answer. Oh, wait a minute. Laura's being speak. You can't do one of these lives without a technical hitch or two, can you? Good morning, Laura. How are you?
Morning. That was so technical for this time of the morning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not the most technical person. I've been doing these lives for a couple of years now, and I didn't know about a green button. So thank you, Lucy.
Thanks,
well, thank you for joining us here today, and thank you for agreeing to be interviewed. I've just been telling people that you're the catalyst for today's events, and I've given them a big description, a little description even, of what we're doing tonight. But first of all, I would like to talk to you about being an M&S warrior. When were you first diagnosed with M&S? Sorry, not M&S, MS. Sorry, I've got Marks and Spencer's on the brain at the moment. Yeah.
I started with symptoms about 10 years ago, but I only finally got my diagnosis last year, March last year.
It took that long?
Yeah. It does. Some people are quite lucky that they're taken seriously straight away, but other people, it can be years, a lot of years to get the actual diagnosis.
Would you say that's because you're like young?
I'm not really sure, to be honest, because MS does affect especially girls, mainly younger, from the age of 18. But I think it was just kind of, you just get dismissed, don't you, and you go through the process. Oh, it could be this, it could be that, but nothing ever comes of it, you know.
Yeah, that's a shame. There's, without going into what I've read in the papers and seen on the news, but how did you feel once you were diagnosed with MS?
I love that you call it M&S.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I haven't just got MS. I've got 7 other illnesses, but MS specifically, it was kind of relief of somebody's listened, and I was quite naive really, and I thought, oh, it's just something what you can get rid of. And then when the initial shock hit, it was a hard time, and it's a really hard thing to deal with because it's something what you have for the rest of your life. But it depends who you've got around you, really, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the support that you receive from people around you, like family,
Yeah.
you know, your partner. I know you have children, your children, family, friends. You know, it must be really important. I have two memories of MS, and one was in the school play when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and for some, I've never forgotten it. It came up. I was playing a Saxon warrior, believe it or not, and for some reason it was in the script that I had to say that this person had multiple sclerosis, and it was also known as creeping paralysis. Would you say that's a good description of it?
Yeah, I would actually. I really would.
Yeah,
Because although
as you,
it's neurology, I can't say that word. Although it's neurologically,
neurological.
it
So
does
I've got my
creep, and
teeth in today. Yeah.
it does creep, and it is something what does get progressively worse. So yeah, I'd say
Okay.
that. It does creep on you as well, like, and it floors you as well. One day you can have a really good day, next day you're a total different person.
Yeah, I remember when we've been talking online, you told me that you've had a bad day. So it's sort
Oh
of
yeah.
like, for want of a better way of putting it, Laura, it sort of like comes in waves, yeah? One day you're having a good day, for the next 2 or 3 days, it might be a bad day as far as symptoms goes.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, so what was the initial, I hate to use this word, but I've got to, the initial aftermath of your diagnosis? Obviously, you've had to tell your partner, you've had to tell
Yeah.
family. And how did you feel?
Oh, I think my friend's actually watching. I hit the lowest I've ever been. I hid away. I blamed myself. I didn't want the children to think of me differently, so I hit a really dark place, if I'm totally honest. And yeah, it was kind of one of them where you just go through the station. It's like a grieving. It's like the 12 steps. You get angry, why me? And then you get then you get upset, like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Because MS, nobody's symptoms are ever the same, so everybody, they can't tell you what's going to happen in 5 years or 10 years because nobody actually knows. So the unknown side of it as well, that kind of hits you, and then you're flooded with information, so then you've got to process that. But then with the MS team and stuff, that is quite helpful. But then after so long, you have this support for in the beginning, for so much support from them, but then that's it until your next appointment. So it can be like 6 months of just on your own going through things every day.
So you get the initial support and then you're
Yeah.
sort of like coping and waiting for your next
Yes,
medical appointment.
100%.
Yeah, a lot of people, I'm saying this wrong, Laura, so please
No,
excuse me.
go for it. No, go for it.
But with serious illness, because MS is a serious illness, and a lot of people do not realise the psychological impact it can have on a person, whether it's MS or cancer,
Yeah.
you know, or other life-threatening or debilitating illnesses such as MS. So that's when you really need your family support and your friends
Yeah.
to help you. What would say helped you out of that dark place?
I think the support groups and the MS Society helped massively because you can ring anonymously. You don't have to tell people, you don't have to tell them your name or anything like that. And they just sit and listen. So you can make the phone call and you can just sit and cry. And it's somebody who kind of understands, because I'm the only one in my family who kind of, well, who is like this. So nobody kind of understands, and then people start avoiding you because they don't know what to say to you. But just having that anonymous person you can just speak to and cry to and say, am I going to live to see my grandkids? Am I going to do this and am I going to do that? And somebody to just like literally understand. And I think my friends as well. My friends have been an
Your
absolute
sound's
godsend.
gone off, Laura.
Oh, Oh, wait a minute.
I can hear you now. Just repeat
Yeah.
yourself, please.
No, it's
Yeah.
all right. My friends as well, like my friends have been an absolute godsend, sitting in the car crying, on the school run, not being able to face the kids, and then my friends would go in and get them, and so yeah.
Yeah, so that psychological support is very important. As you know, later on today, at 7:30 this evening, we're like doing a group healing for anybody who wants to turn up. But this is to raise money for the MS Society, and apart from raising money for research, um, it also helps to pay for the support and the counselling services, which I think is very valuable. And I think it's a lesson for all of us to learn, isn't it, Laura? That a lot of people don't know how to approach their friends or their loved ones that have a illness such as MS, but tend to treat people differently. So, sounding like a spiritualist, we should treat all people with an illness with compassion. But would you say you just like to be treated as normal every day, Laura?
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah,
miss
not all
that.
Laura. She's disabled. Let's
Yeah, I miss
let's
the
wrap her up in
having,
cotton wool sort of thing. Yeah.
yeah, I miss having a joke and a laugh, and people not having to monitor what they say in case they upset me. And like, I am still me. It doesn't define who I am. I have these illnesses, but it doesn't make me who I am. I am so much more than these horrible things I suffer with. Do you know? But on the other hand, as well, it is what it is. We can't change it, and we can only push ourselves to the best of the person that we can be.
That's a beautiful comment, Laura. Okay. I think that's all that we strive for, any of us, is to be the best that we can, you know. Which leads me to my next question, which I've forgotten what it is. You've got to understand, I'm 62 years old, I forget things. But that's very right. I mean, it's a physical illness, it's a neurological illness that affects your physical, but you're still the same person within.
Yeah.
And that's how we should, the rest of us that are walking around, should help support people like yourselves. There is a personality, there is a woman or a man in there that still likes to laugh, still likes to have fun, still has normal worldly problems like the rest of us. So please, if we can raise awareness on that, would you say that was important?
Yeah, massively, massively. I think if when you people treat you differently, it just takes a massive toll on your mental health. And I think MS does play a massive toll on the mental health. And I think sometimes that's forgotten with the physical aspects, like we can't talk, or we can't always walk, and we can't always do things. But mentally, when you have these episodes or relapses or whatever it is, whatever kind you have, it affects you and it knocks you a little bit more, so you lose your confidence. You daren't go out in case you can't always talk to somebody, and people automatically just look at you different and just automatically judge you when you're like, because your words just won't come out. Thank
Yeah,
you, Shelley.
yeah. I think it's important to raise awareness that there is a person struggling to get out. I mean, I know when I've spoken to you, me and Laura have had a few messenger chats, and she has told me. Sorry, Laura has told me that she has felt devalued at times and feel lacking in purpose and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I agree, Lucy.
Mm.
We should always see the person within. Okay, and they just need a little bit of help with the illness. That's all. But there's still a personality within all that, and I think it's the personality that we should nurture. So, tell me, Laura, how did you adapt to life after diagnosis?
Right. So that's a bit of a. I threw myself into spirituality, my mediumship, and I totally just, when I'm online and I'm giving and doing what we do, I am me. I am me. I'm not Laura's MS or anybody else. I am just me. So I threw myself into that, and I did that as much as I could. And just really, I turned into a bit of a hippie, to be honest. I meditated as much as I possibly could, and just tried to take the children to school and just try to just deal with everything as much as I could. I started writing, just to get emotions out what I couldn't always tell people for the sake of you don't always want to upset other people, and you don't want to feel like you're a broken record and you're repeating, because I lost my job and everything through this. So my world has been totally flipped. So I'm kind of in this cycle of every single day, well, what do you do with yourself? And you have to find ways to entertain yourself, because if you don't, then that's when it creeps in. And if you allow it to creep in mentally, then all hell lets loose, basically.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you know, I consider myself blessed that I haven't got an illness like you and many others have. So this leads me on to my next. Well, I always ad lib. All right, you probably know this. I just do it as it comes. Right, we're not working to a script, folks. So yes, we've got to realise, as people, the devastating effect an illness such as MS and MS has on people. Like Laura said, she lost her job, but so that obviously leads to a massive financial impact, and also, you know, the mental health impact. What do I do with myself now? I'm at home. What do I do with myself now? So luckily, Laura's had spiritual practice to help her along the way. I don't know when I work spiritually, people tell me I'm a different person. Do you feel that way?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I feel I can come online, or I can give a reading, and I can be sorry, 1 second, this is going off on one. I can be as down, and I can just be really withdrawn, but I come online or I give a reading, and because I love what I do, that it's everything's forgotten, and people look at me as a valued person instead of, oh, you know. And I do, you change, I change. I think anybody who does it, who's passionate about it, does change, because it gives you life and it gives you purpose, and you're making a difference to somebody who has been waiting so long to hear. And
Yeah.
their face when you give that message, and that you do, I just love it. I really do love it. But then also on the flip side, people who don't have something they're passionate about, who have been diagnosed, or not even just with MS, with any life-changing illnesses, I worry, and I think how can they deal with it if they don't have the passion and the friends and everything else to fall to, you know? And that's a scary place, because there's not enough information of, yeah, there's Samaritans, but not always. You're not always that deep. You just need somebody to talk to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I've got two questions. I've got questions building up in my mind as we carry on. But so it's important after diagnosis for MS warriors not to feel so isolated and to join groups and stuff like that, whether it be archery, you know, whatever
There's a lot
it
of
is.
MS groups online as well, Stephen, where you can ask your questions. There's a lot of support groups for MS and other illnesses as well. But it's biting the bullet and having the courage to write that message and just be like, I remember a couple of days after I'd wrote a message and I said, is this roller coaster of emotions? Is it normal? Do you know, will it settle down? And I got a lovely message. She inboxed me and she was like, don't worry about it. It is just one of them things what we have to deal with. But don't count of how many days you're down. Just let yourself have that down day. If you need to sleep, just sleep. Stop beating yourself up and being so hard on yourself. Because I think that not just with MS, with anything really, but if you're having a bad day and then you punish yourself for having that bad day, but you punish yourself for having to have that sleep to just get through that day. Then you feel bad, and then everything else like starts piling on. So then you kind of at this wall then of like, what do I do? And on a bad day, mentally, you either retreat or you break through that wall and you say, do you know what, let's do this. But it's not always doable to break through.
Yeah, would you say it was important for people to accept that they have MS and have the bad days as well as the good? Because I find acceptance is a great healer in itself. You know what I mean?
One of my very, very close friends said to me in the beginning of this journey, she said, you have to grieve the old you and accept the new you, because the old you can't do what the new you can. And at the time I was like, well, why would you say that? But after getting past it and dealing with it and accepting it, I think it's the best way to look at it, because you just let go of that old you and embrace the new you. Don't hold on to things you can't do anymore, and embrace what, yeah, you might not be able to do that, but we always find a way to do it. So you can do it this way and focus on the positives instead of beating yourself up for the things you can't do.
That is amazing, and that's spiritual practice when you put it in a nutshell, isn't it? Oh, look, yeah, I thought you'd fallen over. All right, don't fall over on me, Laura. Please don't.
Everything here, it's like a game of
okay. Yeah, but I think which leads me on to my next question, because what you've described is sort of like what I would describe as spiritual practice, by letting go of the old you and welcoming in the new you, and and getting to know the new you as well, and adjusting to life, however it affects your life. But what I was going to ask is, Lucy's got a question there as well. What sort of spiritual practice have you put in place, apart from giving messages and all that stuff? What inner practice have you put in for yourself to help you cope with MS?
I meditate as much as humanly possible, and I have wrote to my old self and thanked her for the things and how she's got me this far, and I've burnt it. And I've released it to the universe and said, thank you for getting me this far. I'll take it from here. And I meditate, and I have a gratitude rock, and I am just accepting. I have just got to accept, because we don't have a choice.
Yeah, sometimes the choice is taken away from us.
Yeah.
We just have to accept without going on into all the universal journeys of soul stuff and stuff like that.
Sometimes, and I just, you've got to let go and you've got to release it. But I find as well, if you don't release, then the worse it gets. So sit in your car and scream. I've got a song, and when they know that when that song's on full blast and I'm screaming and singing away, they know that something's wrong. But then after that song, I feel amazing. I'm exhausted.
That's good. I've got songs for that as well. Yeah. Good. Funnily enough, before we done this today, I thought, should I ask her what her favourite song is and play it? But Facebook being Facebook, they'll start bleating about copyright and stuff like that.
There's too many to choose from, honestly. I have such a wide choice.
But anyway, sorry, I'm thinking about my next question. This is the first interview I've ever interviewed people, so please bear with me. I think everybody that's watching can agree that you're a very strong, powerful woman, and I want you to know that. Okay, all right. And I think now you're allowing your powerful light to shine, which is beautiful. Okay, so what do you see for the future for yourself? What would you like to do?
5 years' time.
Well, that's the interview question, isn't it? We always get that. Yeah.
Let's give the 5-year plan. I would be on all my medication, because I'm still waiting for some medication for different things, and waiting for a couple of surgeries. So that'll be done. So then I'll be the bionic woman. You'll be able to stick fridge magnets onto me. I'll have moved home. I'll have been settled. Allow myself to get better, and to push my spiritualism as much as possible, as much as spirit allows me to just go as far as I can go and help as many people as I can help.
That's wonderful.
Eventually, I would like to. Sorry. Eventually, I'd like to open a helpline and things like that, and just help more people what have suffered, not just with MS, with everything, because mental health is so important. Because when your physical health is out of whack, it affects your mental health, and you don't feel worthy, and you don't feel like especially like losing my job, and the landlord's like, right, we want you out because you're not well. So everything, and it piled on that I thought it was all my fault. But now I'm pushing through, and I'm like, no, I've got this fight back, and I'm going to fight back as much as I can, and I will get us and the family to a strong, independent place where we can all heal and get stronger and enjoy life again.
That's beautiful. People don't realise the damaging effect or the powerful effect mental health can have on physical health.
Yeah.
And this leads me on to my second thing. I once, back in the 80s, I once worked with a guy, and he had symptoms, and he went off to the doctor one day. He kept going off to the doctors. And one day the doctor told him, "You have MS." And immediately the next day he turned up to work with crutches, and he was walking along like White Earp. You know what I mean? Very wide-legged.
Yeah.
And he all of a sudden, mentally, I've got MS, so he was sort of like amplifying the symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This can be so damaging. I think he only lived for another 3 or 4 years after that. Okay, because obviously he left the company after a while, but that
It's
is
so
just, I
easy to
just
do
wanted.
that though, Stephen. It's so easy to wake up and not feel right and like, oh, well, I can't do this today because I've got MS. I can't do this today because I've got MS. And I can totally relate with that. So it affects my speech and it affects my memory, and the things what are evident to other people. And if I couldn't speak, oh, I've got MS. Oh, I can't remember because I've got MS. And it's like, well, no, you need to stop that. You need to stop that. Your memory is what it is. If you say every day, oh, well, my memory's bad, mentally you're going to believe it, and you're like, oh, my memory's even worse. It's already bad as it is. You don't need to feed into it. So that I can totally relate to that. I think if you don't have, especially if you don't have children, you don't have a reason to get out of bed, and you don't have to get up in the daily grind, it is easy to say, oh, well, I've got MS. I can't walk today. There is days where we can't walk. There is days where, especially with the relapsing, then flares and then relapses, they affect you. I've lost the use of my arms, my feet. I haven't felt my hands in 10 years. My feet, I can't. But it does affect my arm. Just goes. My legs go. I've had a dead leg for the past 8 months. It's hilarious because I forget and fall. Hence busting my knee up. But I think if you allow yourself and you have people around you that enable us, and go, because it's easy to push you away and shut you in a room. That is easy to then slip into that of, oh, well, I just do this because I've got MS, and not fight the fight.
Yeah, I think that I wanted to speak to you about that little story about my ex-work colleague, just to sort of like show the powerful mental health effects it has on the physical with people that are diagnosed with serious illness. So I'd say to anybody that's suffering with MS, be the best that you can be. You know what I mean? So how have your nearest and dearest, your family, adapted around you?
As my children are still massively struggling, but I think it's an onset of a few events, what's happened in the past 12 months. But my children struggle every day. My daughter has a lot of support in school because she worries that when she goes to school, I'm going to die and things like that. So, but we just have to support and push and show them that, look, yeah, I've hurt my leg, but I'm still strong. And when you're at school, I am fine. So don't worry, because you didn't worry before. It is just this title and these other titles what I now have that people then worry. I'm still the same person as I was 2 years ago, before all these pylons and pylons, because in March I got my first one and then they just started piling on and different. And I've suffered with them for years, so I'm not different. I'm no different now than what I was back then. But because the titles, it's scary, isn't it? Mum's got so and so, or
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of like get you to talk about the effect, because obviously for anybody who has MS, it's going to have an impact on the
yeah.
family. Are the MS Society supportive of that? You can phone them
Oh,
up and say,
amazing.
my daughter's worried, or
Yeah,
my partner's
amazing.
worried,
You can
and
anybody can ring. If you don't want to ring, you can text. There's a live chat. There is always somebody to talk to, and the MS Society all have. Most of them are volunteers, but they have family members what have MS. Some of them have MS, or they know some. There is a close circle of somebody with MS, so they do know what it feels like. You're not going to the doctor and like, oh well, I don't know, I can't relate. These people can relate, and they can put you forward to counselling. The solicitors there, so like the house situation, I rang and they was like, right, that's absolutely fine. They helped massively with that. Anything with work as well. They just because it's anonymous, Stephen. You don't have to. You can just be you, and you can cry. And you don't have to put on the front of, oh, I'm okay. You can just bawl your eyes out if you want, and they just sit and
yeah,
listen.
yeah. I think we spiritual people, we're always talking about living and speaking your truth through an open heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's on the bad days as well as the good days, isn't it? It's all the time. It's not just, you know, when you're feeling particularly spiritual, it's got to be 24/7. So I think I would urge anybody that's watching this that um, has had a diagnosis of MS or any other serious illness, please engage with the support services that are there. And this is why, getting on to what we're doing tonight, this is why we're raising money for the MS societies to keep them support services going for people like Laura, and also for research into it, because I know they've done massive things with HIV, haven't they?
Yeah,
They more or less wiped that out. So let's hope, our little £5, £10 notes or £2 coins or whatever all go to help with new medication that can help
yeah. Because the medication
Laura.
for MS, Stephen, is really intense as well. It's an immune suppressor. So it
Yeah,
suppresses your immune system, and then it leaves you open to absolutely everything. So I know that a lot of people don't take it because then they're open to everything, and they kind of take the relapses as and when, instead of taking the medication, because it's so harsh. It is. I inject 3 days a week, and I inject in the night time, so I sleep through the symptoms, but I have a massive reaction. And then you kind of think, well, is it worth it for the sake of, then you've got to weigh up the pros and the cons. So it
yeah.
would be amazing if they could find something what's not so aggressive on your body.
Yeah, it's a difficult decisions have to be
Yeah,
made, really, don't they?
yeah,
So it sounds to me as if sort of like, even though MNS has been around 6 year dot, MS has been around 6 year dot, that the medication is still in its early stages.
well, the
Would you say that
medication
as far
I'm
as
on,
side effects goes and stuff like that?
yeah, the medication I'm on it was 2018 or 2008. So I'm on one because I suffer with bipolar as well. So I've got to be really careful what I take. And a lot of the MS medication, and they don't tell you this, a lot of the MS medication do affect your mental health. They do cause depression. They do cause
Yeah,
suicidal thoughts and things like that. But they don't. It's in the fine print. So you've got to be really careful on your journey to what you're actually taking, because that MS already causes all this anyway. So to add a medication on top, which causes it as well, you're just fighting against two things there. But yeah, I don't know what I'm not like scientifically minded like that. I don't know what else a replacement would be, but surely they've got to have something.
yeah. I mean, I think for the little people like us, that are not pharmacological academics, we just have to donate the money, and
Yes.
hopefully they will come up with the cure. This is important because, and I think you raised an important point there, Laura, that we have to look at the whole person,
Yeah.
not just the illness. What side effects, that medication will cause on the mental health, like with
Yeah.
depression. And if somebody is already suffering with bipolar or depression, because there's many different levels of compression and depression.
Yeah.
In my work, my clients, they suffer with varying degrees of depression and anxiety, and some of them tell me that the medication doesn't work. So we have to look at the whole person. I do know, because my ex-wife is a pharmacologist, believe it or not. Not that I am, but they are looking. Science has been looking for an analgesic, a cure-all for everything,
Right.
and I'm hoping that through one day with research, they can find some kind of analgesia for MS.
Mm.
But I think that's way off. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But I think you've been very brave coming on talking to me today, young Laura.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's all right.
Thanks
We'll
for
do this
putting
again. I'm
this
going to put
event
this interview on
together.
YouTube, young lady, if that with your permission.
Say that again.
I'm going to put this interview on YouTube with your permission, because it's about getting the word out there. But believe it or not, there are people that do watch my YouTube channel. But okay, let's think of another couple of questions for you. And so, do you do any healing meditations? Could you promote them through your spiritual work, through your spiritual service?
I do try healing. I have had physical healing as well from some healing friends. I do try the healing meditation, and there's a lot of guided meditation on YouTube for MS as well. So you can fidget and you can move and things like that. Sorry, he came in. I forgot what you asked me. What was the question?
Oh, do you do any healing meditations? Actually, you've just told me something I didn't know. All right, and I think today, for those of us that don't know, like me, it's opening up a new world, because I didn't realise that there were healing meditations just for MS sufferers.
Yeah, there is, and there's also
and there must be for any kind of suffering, really. But
there is a really good one for guided meditation when you have an MS hug. The MS hug is the worst experience I think anybody. It's like a boa constrictor around your ribs and everything. It's awful, but there is a guided meditation to talk you through it, to just calm you. So that's a really beneficial one. But when you do when you do any meditation, a lot of it's you've got to stay calm and you've got to stay in a certain position, which on good days I can do, but on bad days I'm really fidgety. So the guided MS ones are like, allow yourself to move if you need to move. It's not going to break your meditation. Do you know?
That's right.
Give yourself a wiggle, because I don't know about anyone else, but once I'm in that zone, if I'm meditating, I'm like zonked. I don't want to move. I don't want any interruptions. I just want to enjoy that meditation. But on days you can't, these are quite good, because you can wiggle and you can move and you can sit how you want to sit. Especially when you get stuck in bed, then days are good. They're not good days, but good guided meditations.
Yeah, I meditate laying down sometimes.
Yeah.
Some people would say I'm lazy. I don't know, but sometimes if you drift off into a sleep, you need it. There's no set way. I mean, I know there's lots of people talk about meditation, Laura. There's no set way.
No, I lay down.
All right, if you want to swing from the chandelier, if that's the best way you find to meditate, you do that, and I'll say that to anybody. The thing is, you've got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
All right, so whether it's swinging from a chandelier or wiggling on your settee or whatever, you be comfortable. Any other thoughts you get than the focus of your visualization, just allow them to pass through.
Yeah.
You know, meditation is a lot easier than people think. Oh, you've got me on my blooming soapbox now. I'll shut up. It's supposed to be you talking, not me. But yeah, would you recommend meditation for MS sufferers?
To anybody, absolutely anybody. I'm a walking billboard for meditation. Honestly, if my friends at school are having a bad day, get on YouTube and get some meditation going. Just because you can type in whatever you need it for, and it does affect you mentally and physically as well. Because you're relaxing your muscles, aren't you? And you know, if your leg's dead, for example, your muscles are relaxed, so it's just easier. You're not cured, but it is easier, and your brain can switch off for however long you're meditating from your everyday life.
Would you say your meditations wake up or arouse your inner voice
Oh,
that says,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, you can do this, Laura, or
yeah.
maybe we should look at doing this in a different way to achieve the same end goal or whatever?
Yeah, it does. And then, me and my daughter, we have a mantra, and we say our mantra every morning, every night. Put ourselves in the bubble, and when we get, you just meditation, honestly. And people, I think the misconception of it is that people think that we sit there and we're like,
No,
because they've seen it on a film,
no.
and it's not like that. So the more I talk about it, it's like, oh, you need what's that? Flowers in your hair, you turn into a hippie. I'm like, until you try it, don't knock it. But I even got my uncle, who is 52, who is the most stubborn old ox ever. He even meditates now. And he texts me,
Brilliant,
Laura, will you stop sending me
brilliant.
guided meditation? Nope, come on. And he's well chilled.
Yeah, I mean, people, Lucy's just said she would like to try meditation.
Was
I
she
would like to
doing
thank
it?
Lucy, and I know Laura will agree with me that, you know, you don't have to reach a state of Buddhist state of nirvana or Zen or anything like that. You just need to be relaxed and comfortable. Meditation is purely visualization,
Yeah.
and it will tell you about you. This is my understanding of meditation,
Yeah.
and it will awaken your inner voice as well, your inner knowing, that will help you through your MS journey and make you better MS warriors. I often tell people with spiritual healing, Laura, that we channel color and energy. That the energy's in the color, all right, and each color has a different vibration of energy to it. I'm sure you already know this, but for those who don't know,
No.
okay. But I always say to people that, you know, when giving healing, start off with one color like light or white or blue or something like that. But if that color changes, that's the color that's meant to for the healing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because healing guides know the right color vibration for that physical, mental, emotional, whatever they need to do to sort out. Okay. So what I suggest to you is, young Laura, there's a simple one that I suggest for everybody. I mean, do what you're doing, but this is just a suggestion. Imagine a blue light above your head,
Yeah.
and just take that blue light into the top of your head, through your crown chakra, all right, and just allow it to fill you physically from head to toe, but allow it to come out wherever it can come out. All right, through your fingers, your mouth, your nose, your ear holes, your toes, anywhere it can come out. All right, and what's coming out is a negative. What you're putting in is a positive. So you're just flushing yourself through. That's a simple one. But what I want to say to you, Laura, is if that colour changes, that's the right colour for you.
I never knew it could change. I always just do it with white. Oh,
No.
I'm excited now. Ooh, what
Yeah,
colour we get?
yeah. Just connect with your spirit guides and say, please, can I have the right healing for me?
Yeah.
All right. So if that say you're, for instance, you're there, you're filling yourself up with white, and it changes to sort of like a pinky colour, don't rack your brains out to get it back to white. Allow it to flow through in
Right.
that pinky colour, and you will receive more benefit from it.
Oh, I'm excited now. Guess what I'm doing when we finish this?
Okay. All right. But anyway, thank you for talking to me. I think I've enjoyed this. I'm going to do more interviews, I think. And let's talk about tonight. What do you hope to achieve from tonight?
Oh, I'm so excited about tonight. I am so excited. I just think even I know put the MS Society aside because that's what we're doing it for, but to get people to come together and promote healing, spiritual healing, because I think a lot of people are still scared of
Yeah,
what we do, and it's kind of, we still, I mean, many years ago with the sisters and stuff and the backstreets, it kind of still feels a bit like that we're kind of, ooh, the weird ones. But for people to experience the healing tonight who wouldn't normally experience it, that's what I'm excited for. To hear their responses of, oh, I've never done this before. I feel amazing. Or do you know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to that.
yeah. I think it's a two-pronged thing tonight. It's educating about people about MS, and people with MS can come along, get some healing if they wish. Also, hopefully, through free will offerings, we'll raise a few quid
Yeah,
for the MS Society so they can keep up with the support that they do.
100%.
Because I think that's so important, helping people, reassure people with their mental health and stuff like that, and to educate people a little bit more about spiritual healing. Tonight, I will have the cabinet up. I will have the red light on.
Oh,
All right, but I will be explaining. I will be in a control, not like a deep trance, but control, and I'll explain all that to people who may be a little bit worried. But I'll explain to them what they will see, what they may feel. Okay, all we want people to do is come online, and if they feel they need a bit of healing, just to relax as much as they can. Yes, fidget if they want, and allow the healing energies to come over them.
yeah.
All right. We have Patrick Monaghan with us. He's a beautiful healer from Ireland. So you're going to be getting the people receiving tonight. Well, and I hope you will be receiving as well. So I'm making sure you're getting healing. All right. And so yeah, be wriggling on your settee when it all kicks off. All right. What I want to say is Patrick Monaghan. See, you're going to get a double whammy. So there's going to be my guides channeling healing energy through from the source through me to Laura and everybody else. And Patrick's going to be doing the same with his spirit team to everybody else. All right. We'll tell you what to expect, what you may experience. All right. But Laura, I would really like you to continue to be a voice for MS sufferers.
Thank you.
And to say, all right,
Thank you.
you
I will
know,
try.
yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to invite you on again to talk, all right? Because I think this is important. I think, because you know what I think? Because healing gets pushed to one side and everybody likes all the mediumship stuff and everything like that.
Yes.
Okay, but without me getting on my soapbox again, because I'm trying to avoid that. All right, it's the Laura show at the moment, not the Stephen show. And, you know, if you can sort of like tell your fellow sufferers, you know, one good thing is spiritual healers very rarely charge.
Yeah.
Or it may be a small donation, all right, paper electric, stuff like that. But it can help them with their symptoms or alleviate any sort of like bad side effects from the medication, stuff like that. A good spiritual healer will never promise a cure. We never promise a cure, but we do know it will help in some way. Even if it's just a little bit of inner peace. But I know my spirit guides are very good with muscular stuff. So, and I know MS affects the muscles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I've got to get you booked in for a healing session anyway, apart from
Yes,
tonight.
thank you.
But
I think a good thing about tonight as well, I mean, people don't always feel comfortable walking into a church for whatever reason, just going and knowing where to find a healer. Because unless you're
yeah,
in this field, you don't actually know. It's not like you can type it into Google, get me a healer or anything like that. So I think tonight will be really beneficial how we've spread the word on so many different pages where to find a healer. You don't have to leave your own house. You know, if you can't walk, you can't do whatever, you can find healing online tonight. And I think that's
it can be done online, because believe it or not, since COVID, sorry, I mentioned the C word there, Laura. Since COVID, all our spiritual people have had to do stuff online, whether it's mediumship, healing, or whatever. And when I've been demonstrating trance online, my guys love to build up healing energy in the cabinet and then send it out. We've had some amazing effects. So the healing and energy can be passed through digitally.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Sorry, I
felt
didn't have my
it
teeth
when
right
I've
then, but
watched it. I felt it.
yeah. And you know, so if you can't get out of the house, or you don't feel you want to go, you feel a bit daft, you can have it in the comfort of your own home. And virtually everybody's online these days. So what I want to say to healers is make yourself available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just sort of like hide your light under a bushel. Because we've moved into a modern world. All we see now is Reiki healing. All right, they advertise themselves. Perhaps we spiritual healers should be putting ourselves out there.
I agree.
All right, because it is a very, very powerful form of healing. Okay, or if you wish to go have Reiki healing, have that done. But spiritual healing is a very powerful form of healing, and we shouldn't be hiding our light under a bushel. I knew a lovely guy a few years back, Robin Lewis. He's sadly now in spirit, but he had to close his healing group. They hired out a hall, and him and 2 or 3 other healers would give people healing, and all they asked for was something like 50p entrance to pay for the hall. And they didn't get enough people.
Oh, that's sad.
So they had to close it. And he was a genuine spiritualist, all right, full of love. And yeah, you see Reiki healers running around charging £45 a go. And yet Robin's place closed down.
Yeah.
All right. Spiritual healing is all about love and compassion. Okay. That's from spirit and from the healer. The healer has to feel it as well. Okay. Well, I'm getting on my soapbox again, aren't I, young ladies? All right. But yeah, thank you for today, Laura. I'm going to put
thank
this.
you for this evening and
That's
today.
right. Yeah, well, I'm going to find other excuses to get you talking.
Oh, I've got a lot of other diseases. We can keep going, Stephen, for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
Just keep raising money.
But yeah. See, it's been great for me to let somebody else talk. Normally it's me doing all the talking. But yeah, we'll find ways of getting you putting it out there. I will put this video on YouTube. It may help. Hopefully, it will help MS sufferers. It'll be another thing. But anything you feel you would like to talk about or would like to do, you let me know, and I will do it through the group.
Thank you very much.
All right. I will also, Lucy, be running meditation nights. All right. But people have to understand I work full time as well, and I serve churches a lot and stuff like that. So please bear with me, and I will put these things on. Okay. All right. But just to reiterate, thanks again, Laura. I think you are a strong, powerful woman, and you should allow your light to shine. I want you to encourage all the ladies and gentlemen that suffer with M&S, that they are strong and powerful as you, and that they can shine their light and live as the best life that they can. Because that's what it's all about, isn't it, Laura? Leading the best life.
Yeah, being the best version of you.
Yeah.
And I think as well it helps, like, if you're feeling down and depressed, just going for that walk, because you have to put that mask on. If I'm okay, and if you walk far enough and you keep that mask on long enough, you eventually feel okay. And you come back home like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad today.
I read a thing. Hi, Patrick. Patrick's come to join us. I read a thing the other day about dropping the mask. You know what I mean? It was interesting because it's all about the outer image that we portray to the world. You know.
Yeah.
But really inside we're hurting.
Yeah.
you know, and we should really drop the mask to allow people to see that we are hurting. But I think because this world can be a very unkind place and people can be very unkind,
Yeah.
that's why a lot of people keep their mask on.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
I
blame
think
them, to
as
be
well
honest.
they avoid people what know what's behind that mask, because I know I do that. If I'm struggling, I go off the radar, I go missing. I'll talk to certain people, but then there's genuine people what I know adore me and love me, and I love them and adore them. But I avoid that person because they know that I'm not right under this mask. They know when it's a mask and when it's real me, and that is when it becomes hard.
Yeah,
So you avoid them people.
yeah,
I
that's a
think she's
shame. That's
actually
a real shame,
watching.
Laura.
Yeah, she
Um,
is. She knows exactly what I mean.
yeah, yeah. And I'm really glad she's on today. All right, because this is all for people with MS and MS warriors and stuff like that. Um, that's a shame that you feel that you can't talk to those people that you love and adore, that you have to keep the mask on as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, but I think sometimes you need that, because if you do allow yourself to open up, sometimes I think that can do more harm than good, because then you're allowing everything out what you're trying to suppress. If you keep that
Yeah,
mask on, avoid that person for that day, you suppressed how you're feeling, and that day just becomes a bad day. If you open up and that mask is removed, then it can turn to 2 bad days, 3 bad days. So it's a very fine line sometimes.
yeah, I will agree with that. I mean, what I suggest is, and what I've told a lot of people is that a lot of people don't realise that we have a beautiful connection to what we call God and spirit and stuff like that. And we very rarely use that connection. Obviously, people like us use that connection, but just sitting quietly, removing the mask. I mean, what we call God, I prefer to call it creation, without, because a lot of people are turning away from religion now.
Yeah.
But what I feel to say to people is remove, especially you. I'm talking to you and everybody, Laura. Is to remove the mask, use that connection, put it in the hands of God, put it in the hands of spirit guides, the angels, and through that connection, through your intuition, that help, that support, and that upliftment will come.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
agree.
all right. Sorry to sound boring. I know you already know that. All
No,
right.
I agree, and sometimes you need to hear
Sometimes it's
that.
being brave enough to do that because you
Yeah.
think, oh, God won't be interested. Why should I suffer when there's all these terrible things?
Yeah.
Why am I bleeding when all these terrible things? But they love you. God, guides, angels love you to connect with them. They are with you for a reason, for a purpose. So if you feel, Laura, or anybody that's suffering with MS that's watching this, please leave it in the hands of God, angels, spirit guides, whatever. But I found you may even feel silly, like you're talking to yourself, but you're not. Um, even in that way, you can find that is a healer in itself.
Yeah.
Okay, this little daily things you can do. But anyway, all right, it's been a real pleasure today, Laura. All
No,
right,
thank you. And
all
thank
right.
you for all the lovely comments. I was trying to read them. You're so sweet. You're all so lovely.
Yeah,
Thank
I'll be
you.
trying to multitask and read them as we're talking, but
I ain't got my glasses on. And then when you was talking, I was like this, trying to read them.
I'll put your bins on. Look, I know for a fact Laura's done her hair and her makeup especially for us today. All right.
It don't happen often. Let me
Yeah,
tell
all
you.
right. So we should be honoured. You know, the wall paint's gone on, the hair's been brushed. You know what I mean? But put your bins on, all right? Because we will be doing more of these, Laura.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, I think we should go now. I hope
Yeah.
people have benefited from what Laura has said, and I hope, like me, people have had an insight and been educated a little bit more into the world of the MS warrior. You know what I mean? And I can't wait to put this on YouTube. I really can't. And I'm going to do that in a minute. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. Those few people that have joined us. and I hope in your own little way that you've benefited from this, and I hope all of you can join us tonight. Me and Patrick and Laura. I've got to work out how to make Laura a co-host on Zoom, and that's just to make sure everybody's stays muted. So, without putting too fine a point on it, whilst the healing's going on, we need shut gobs. But after the healing, we can sit and have a chat and sort of discuss it and everything like that. But anyway, thank you all. Once again, thank you, Laura. Take care, and I will say fare thee well. All right.
See you
God
later.
bless. Take care, young lady. Speak to you soon. All right. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.